This season of Quantum Kickflip is brought to you by MythWorks. Original worlds, original stories. Find out more at www.myth.works.
Previously on Quantum Kickflip.
We haven't seen Bubby all week. Do you have any idea where he went?
I think he may have been peeled back.
Even so, then he'd be here, wouldn't he? Because this is our home
No. Flobert is definitely from Vestige.
Wilborth pulls out what appears to be an old sort of map.
If we can decipher the text on this map, we'll have a much better chance of finding Flobert.
I heard about these babicles. There's something like that Miper's working on.
You found the Unicorp Extra Mall, and you were immediately accosted and chased by a series of mall security robots. There were some patches that had sort of almost a highlighter yellow glow to them, and as you've exited into the mall, you actually do see more of these little globulates.
Where do we go now? This was our best lead and he's not here.
Those robots are still stomping around out there.
Maybe we have to split up and cover more ground.
Yeah, that's not a trope in Disney. I don't know that that's a bad idea.
And somewhere out in the distance in the mall, we hear the small little squidge of a slimy creature moving across tiled flooring. Hello everyone, welcome back to Quantum Kickflip, a Slugblaster actual play podcast. My name is Michael Vetsch and I will be your GM for this session. And I am joined here today by some of my best and funniest friends. They're gonna introduce themselves to you right now with, when you're in a mall, what's your go-to place in a food court?
Hi, I'm Liam. I play Esther Infinitē. She is the Guts playbook with the jailbroken microphone. And I love fried chicken. It is probably my favorite food. And Popeyes recently came to Canada in the last 5 or 6 years. So I've been eating a lot of Popeyes. And there's one in the West Edmonton Mall food court. And there's now a Chick-fil-A. And it's overrated, and also all the other reasons you shouldn't eat a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But also it's kind of overrated. I'll take Popeyes every day of the week. So if you want to sponsor us, Popeye sponsor us. 2/5 of us are vegetarians, but I would love a Popeye sponsorship, please. Thank you.
I'll roll with it.
You can have a biscuit.
Hello, my name is David Ray, and I play Jacob Stanley, the Chill Playbook with the Rift Ninja sneakers. And usually when I'm at the mall, that's when I get Thai Express. That's my go-to.
Ooh, yeah.
Although when I worked at the mall, at Polo Park Mall in Winnipeg, I would get Arby's every day because they gave a 15% discount to mall employees.
Let's go.
Yeah, so that probably set my life back.
Walking around a mall with a little carton of curly fries, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of fries, hi, I'm Robyn Slack, and I play Goby Lubgorch, the Smarts playbook with the powered armor. And I feel like there are certain foods that you kind of only have the opportunity to get at a mall. So Orange Julius and New York fries. Okay. Where it's I'm not going to drive to a New York fries restaurant and eat in at a New York fries. But if I'm ever hungry at a mall, it's ooh, I get to have poutine today. That's my little treat. And I don't even know if Orange Julius is good, but it just feels like the mall. It
drinks like a mall.
It's
The juice that drinks like a mall.
Do you want to sponsor us, Orange Julius? We got a new slogan you can have, but only if you sponsor us. The juice that drinks like a mall. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like ballpark hot dogs or movie theater popcorn. It's Mall Orange Julius. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Laena, and I play Miserée, the Void Creature, and the Heart Playbook. And I'm a bit of a slut for A&W. I don't go to food courts very much, but that is where we tend to go when we're getting fast food, because they have the Beyond Burger. And I don't know, sometimes you just need a fast food burger, but you don't eat meat, and you're like, what am I going to do? And A&W is the answer.
So yeah, Beyond Burger, the burger that fucks like a mall.
A&W sponsor.
Yeah.
All of these have been orange-themed food places.
Oh, damn.
Well, it is a mall food court. There's not a lot of green at the mall.
There's not a lot of natural colors, yeah.
And as was mentioned before, my name is Michael Vetsch. I am your Game Master Slugblaster. And for me, I'll go to an OPA anytime I'm in a mall and I need food. Will I go? Similarly, will I go to an OPA anywhere else? No.
No.
But do I want some of that good pita in a mall? Yeah.
Are you a wrap or a plate guy?
I do the pita wrap with fries. Anyway, now that we've all checked in on our food orders, we'll be getting those shortly here, maybe during an ad break in the middle of the show. But in the meantime, let's get back to our game. We join our heroes from our unnamed crew in the Unicorp Extra Mall, or UM colloquially. They have all just made their way through the mall and found the old living quarters of their missing crewmate, Bubby. Having seen some other notations on a map from a mall directory within that room, you've all sort of split off into different portions of the mall to go and look for clues, or possibly even find your lost crewmate themselves. Just looping around, I think we had it down that Goby was headed toward a movie theater.
Yeah, there was something notated on the map about theater and something about statues, I believe.
Miserée, you were going to a food court.
That's right.
Yes. Esther was headed to the water park.
Yes.
And old Jake's Mr. Plinko himself was going to the amusement park.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually where we'll be jumping in first. We are following Jake as he goes in to the amusement park. Now, an amusement park in a mall might seem a strange thing, but it happens.
And of course, it is amazing to Jake. I mean, yeah, he's been to the West Ed Mall back in Null, but this is even even bigger. It's got an even bigger kind of amusement park in there. Got a ride that goes higher up, and it's just labeled the Face Melter, and just Jake is taken aback by it. There's
Yeah, distantly in the background, you see an old, unused roller coaster track, and there's a sign there. And through the lens of your babicle, you can see that it has a sign that reads, "The Mind Fucker Upper."
Oh, it's got to be good. It has swears in it.
Yeah, there are several other disused rides within this portion. It again has one of those glass ceilings like what was seen over top of the other area that you all skated across with the large spaceship model. But here's little motes of dust are floating through the air, moving between all these rusted metal frames of this sort of large drop ride. Did you mention the face melter?
Yeah.
I assumed it was like a drop of doom kind of ride, but
Yeah.
is that correct?
Yeah, but it's one where you're on the underneath, so you're like looking down the whole time, and then there are spikes at the bottom that like you stop. You're supposed to stop, but like, oh man, it's coming right for you.
Yeah. They didn't call it the face gouger, though.
No, the spikes actually shoot an acid out.
Yeah, it's just really warm water. So it's just like for the moment you think, oh, my face is melting.
So as you come in here, I think just in general, something we were also working toward in the previous portion of the run, you all had a progress track going in terms of trying to track down Flobert. And that track was Globert, of which you have found 4 letters, leaving only Bert. Ernie is not found. At this point, I think I also want to actually introduce a secondary progress track. This one I am going to call Lore. As was previously mentioned sort of about UM, this mall is somewhat mythical in status. It's something that Slugblasters talk about, oh, yeah, there's some old structure down below the dunes, but no one had brought back like previously recorded footage of this. And you've already got some very good footage that Esther took of your big grind trick and going across earlier in the mall, but any other video footage you find within the mall helps build it out more and will help bring that myth to life for other Slugblasters in the community. So if you fill out this track of lore, there might be some more style rewards in terms of how you're received by the rest of the community for your additional findings on this trip.
So I think, Jake, he is here to find Flobert, but he is kind of taken aback, and kind of he's looking around and realizing, oh, I don't think these rides are going to really work. That's okay. Well, I got to look for him, and I'm calling, hey, Flobert! Flobert? Okay, maybe I need to get up higher. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get up high, and I'm going to try to go and start climbing like the scaffolding or whatever of the face melter. I'm going to try to go up.
Not ride it, climb it.
Well, the machines. I don't know how to turn on all these machines.
Yeah, at this point, I will say all of the seat racking for the face melter, which I guess points down if it goes toward the spikes. Is up at the height of the ride. So yeah, you are able to sort of climb this structure. If it's fun to add, I think based on the notion of these spikes, it's all themed very Indiana Jones-like.
Sure, yeah.
So it's not just exposed scaffolding, but it has sort of a craggy brick texture that you are able to find handholds, and there are some fake vines built in that maybe give you grips. They're not intended for this, but ne'er-do-wells will do what they do.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm heavily relying on my anti-nega friction outsoles to like be able to cling and spire climb. So even if it like some of the stuff is like a little loose or whatever, I can kind of do. I could just take up the normal stairs that you could to get up to the top to ride the board of the ride, but no, those are all busted out. So I'm still just climbing up the side. I get up to the top, and I'm going to try to take a look around. Shout out once again, Flobert. Oh, here, I should get a video of this. And I'm going to take start a video, start looking around, doing like the selfie look, and like also trying to pan around, trying to look.
You're catching video of yourself calling out for the friend.
Flobert! Okay, let's go and bounce around. And I'm going to try to like kind of skip and jump from ride to ride from the tops kind of a thing. And try
Keeping
to
up
cover
at this side. So you were just climbing the face melter to get up to the higher point. Yeah, I know what.
And there's like a little train track up there.
Yeah.
For some reason.
At this point, I think from the height of the face melter, you are close enough that you could jump to the actual rail track of the roller coaster.
Oh, sure.
And if you were to, I guess you don't have...
I have my shoes.
Well, with your shoes, I think you could probably grind along that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure run jump and slide super fast. That's part of the powered midsoles. So
yeah, I think if I can get an action roll from you here to sort of make that initial jump across to the track, and then also then successfully land and sneaker grind your way along this roller coaster.
So if I say, I don't know, add a kick, could I be trying to look for Flobert, but also like, as I'm going, it's almost that stream of consciousness ADHD of like, oh, look at that thing. I wonder if that's a ride that does this. And like, oh, and over here, it looks like this ride went under like that. Oh, and just pointing out things as I go, hoping to fill a letter of the lore track as well as trying to find Flobert.
Absolutely. I love the idea of that. Are you adding anything else to your dice?
I'm going to add an extra die from my sneakers as well. So I'm at 3d6. And then, since I'm doing this all on camera, I'm going to try to make this like look cool as I go.
This is a trick as well.
This is a trick.
Okay.
So I'm going all out, baby. Come on. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. I got a 6 and 2 5s.
Woo!
Damn.
So does that mean I get steezy as well?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting 2 style off this, as well as marking both tracks.
Yeah.
The most successful option possible.
Just really giving it. And so I'm going, jumping around, bouncing.
That's incredible. I think initially, as you make this first jump, though, you are successfully going to make it.
Yeah.
But as you push off, something gives way, and the platform that you were on, the actual seating of the face melter, detaches and goes screaming downward. And it actually activates the music of the ride. And this is also very weirdly like tribal, I'm using air quotes, is in the feel of Indiana Jonesy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's blasting out this big sort of pulp adventure music with drums and chanting sounds as you leap through the air. And all of this is, of course, being caught on the video as well as you go along.
I'm going to need one of you to hum a little bit of what this music sounds like for me.
Are we going? Do. Throw you right under the bus immediately.
God damn it, Disney's going to be on our asses for this one.
John Williams shaking his fists. I'm skidding along, on my sneakers as I'm going down the train tracks and everything like this.
Point out like 5 rides you see.
There's also the spinning teacups and everything.
Actually, yeah, let's throw it around the table. What are some of the other rides that Plinko manages to catch in this?
Carousel of slugs. Carousel of slugs.
One of those things where it's just sort of like an octopus arm of little airplanes and things that go up and go down. But to stick with the naming convention of this place, it's called the Traumatizer. Even though it's just like spinning airplanes going up and down.
It's a combination House of Mirrors and like haunted house, and it's just like it's got a bunch of mirrors, but also like really bad lighting that just makes you look awful. So the horror is you. You like walk in, you're like, oh my god, I look terrible.
House of unflattering mirrors.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Every mirror is just at the worst angle to getting your worst angle.
Yeah, they mirrors that only show your bad side. Yeah.
The title of it is the most repulsive monster you'll ever see.
Yeah. Turns out it's man, and it's this man specifically.
You that man. I think the last one I go up to, and I'm trying to look around. It's a cannon that people can go into, and it, like normally launches you into a netting or whatever. And I get down and I launch myself up, and I'm like taking one last look around, land in a net, and I'm like, well, I don't think he's here.
And I think you are correct in that you in all of that scanning, you saw all these different structures and rides, but you didn't actually see Flobert himself or anything. But as you're resting there in this netting, and you glance over, you do actually see, picking back up, that trail of yellow glowing slime that was seen before. Additionally, in the distance beyond the copyright distinct music, you can hear the clanking of metal feet as the loud clatter of the face smelter has drawn more of those blarts. What did blart stand for again?
I didn't write it down. Oh no! Wait! Bipedal laser-equipped authority robotic techno guard. A bit of a stretch for that one. Bit of a stretch.
With laser equipped, it's kind of blart.
No, laser equipped is hyphenated. It's one word.
And when I'm, on this netting, then it's just, okay, I gotta get going, and like trying to scramble, but it's hard to do that on netting. And it's like not
the netting just detaches and you fall down,
landing into the, into a bunch
There's like
of
a
plants
ball
below.
pit.
Yeah.
With spikes underneath.
They designed this cannon to land above a classic children's play area. Yes, and as you scramble on out of the ball pit, and are you following that trail of slime?
Yeah, that's what the attempt will be, while also trying to duck out of the way of the blarts.
That's nice. With that, I think we will transition over to the food court. Miserée, you are walking into a food court. In this area, you've sort of seen in other areas of the mall, it is 2 stories, and surprisingly so is the food court. They have restaurants on both layers, and it's just a very open space. There are little walkways across what would have been rivers of water, but they are just full of sand. Small fountains are actually still shooting jets of sand through the air, and they sort of twinkle as they fall down onto the tile. I think it's something else sort of interesting about the layout of this food court is, as you can see, there are a lot of different stalls for restaurant vendors, but they do all look identical. None of them have signs for different food purveyors. They all just have little spaces for lineups to counters that have a single sort of screen in front of them and an area that looks kind of like what a soft drink fountain would be, but it just has one big tube and a stack of trays underneath it.
Okay, so not so much like a counter you go up and place your order, but more like a self-serve situation.
Word running, I think you could order anything from any of the possible restaurants at any of the spots, and they would deliver the food just onto your tray out of the tube.
You got like a button for butter chicken and a button for fried rice and a button for spaghetti and a button for tacos, and they just like come down. And then like you can also press them all at once to get like a swamp water situation.
That's just a swamp at that point, I think.
I need a butter chicken taco.
Covered in spaghetti. Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Where do you think the spaghetti cone came from?
There you go.
Okay. I think what she's kind of thinking is that the closest we have come to finding Bubby was through a grate into a like tucked away janitor's closet. And she's looking around at this big empty space, and she doesn't think she's going to find Bubby here. She wants to kind of find a way to get into like the inner workings of like the back rooms of this food court and see if she can sort of get in that way and maybe start looking for Bubby there.
Yeah, I think I will. This feels very investigatory. I think if you can give me a roll for this.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what sort of snooping you're able to do and what that turns up.
I have a pretty dumb idea.
Sounds like a good idea.
I want to find something that looks breakable. Maybe like a door I can bust open or something. And I want to access the void to see if I can find a sledgehammer.
I like this a lot. Yeah. I think, by looking at each of these sort of stalls and you see the tubes, you do sort of notice that they all actually, the tube goes up behind the screen and they all sort of start, either they have like a sharp 90-degree turn in one direction or another, and all of them seem to converge at what would be one of these stalls, but instead is just a space with a bunch of tubes feeding in. And it seems like there's just a flat wall. It doesn't look like there's a door.
Okay.
But all of these tubes are clearly going in behind whatever, I guess it wouldn't just be drywall, but like the material of this plane of wall.
Yeah, that's what I want to break down for sure.
Yeah, if you had bombs in this Zelda game, you would be able to place one there. And,
Yeah, of course.
And what ability are you using for trying to find a sledgehammer?
The standard function of the Voidware, maybe. I mean, I guess you tell me if it's Astral Intake, Mark 1 Turbo, and roll to pull a unique, specialized, or implausible item, or if it's just the standard function, roll to see if you happen to have a specific everyday item in there. How everyday is a sledgehammer?
I don't know, for some reason in my mind, maybe it's just a size thing. Like, claw hammer is like an everyday hammer.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer feels like a specialized demo tool.
I do want a big hammer.
I think it'll be the Astral Intake one.
All right, I'll mark a kick. And I will mark a d6 from my attitude, so I'm rolling with 2d6 to bust down this wall. Here we go. I got a 4.
A 4. I liked some of the notions of unique, specialized, or implausible item. And I think as you reach into yourself, do you just kind of reach into the middle of your... How does it... Do you even have to reach in, or
I don't
does it
think
just
she
kind
reaches
of
it. I think it just like
emerge from you?
slowly emerges from her.
It's really cool.
Oh, and same thing as when she like manifests eyes or whatever. She goes.
And I think as Miserée is focusing and forcing, coming out of her form, we do see the head of what appears to be a sledgehammer slowly emerge, and then a portion of the handle comes out, but not as long as you'd expect. And eventually it sort of falls down, and it pulls out a length of chain. And the chain just keeps coming, and it's kind of like a clown act, and it's just kind of coiling up on the ground. And then on the end of it is just a spiked metal ball at the end. So this is half sledgehammer, half meteor hammer.
Okay.
Which is a type of sort of half-ranged martial weapon. And yeah, it'll do some wrecking for you, but it's kind of a weird thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She picks it up from like the sledgehammer end of it and just like flings it up over her head and starts the chain spinning, and she's just gonna like she has no concept of how much noise she is making right now. She is so loud as she's like absolutely wrecking this wall.
Nice. And yeah, as that was a mixed success, you are able to break into that portion, and it does look like it opens up into just like a colder concrete, very back halls of a mall sort of look, fluorescent overhead lighting, all these pipes and tubes running, wiring in different channels within this passageway. But I think this being a very uncommon weapon, which I'm sure you're not proficient with, listener, Laena just gave me the sassiest fucking look.
We'll see.
I think in the mayhem of swinging this monstrosity of a weapon, you also bash open several of the pipes, and they just start spilling out old food.
Oh, okay.
Which is mostly just sludge, but you could still kind of make out the forms of what food it would have been. It's weird to see a pipe that once made sandwiches just giving out fluid, you know?
Yeah. Liquefied sandwiches? Oh, God.
Part of this as well is you see this back hallway and all this mess that is created, and you are right, it's making a lot of noise. Already standing in the hallway are several blarts. And I think at this point you weren't expecting anyone or anything to already be there. It seems like maybe this was just a patrol of these mall bots that happened to go through the back areas on their own in their own sort of route, and you've happened to come across their patrol, and they are charging directly at you, and I think that will earn you a slam.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to take that slam.
All right.
And I want to just keep on swinging my weird morning star and try and take out some blarts.
Yeah, I think they do just open fire on you, and several of these like bolts of green charged light energy fire at your form. Yeah, what is it? Does it seem like they get absorbed into void, or do they pass through, or?
Ooh. I think maybe they do get absorbed, and like, whereas whenever she's like absorbing something intentionally, it just kind of gets swallowed up and her form doesn't change all that much. This is maybe like, as it hits, she does light up green a little bit, so you can tell that it is having an impact on her.
Yeah, and I think I would like to give unto the slam of energized parentheses bad.
Energized bad. Perfect.
And in finding this passageway, I think I am going to mark another spot on the Gobriel track, the progress track. What's it look like as you just mow through these? I think I'm going to let this success sort of ride onward a little here.
Ooh. Here's the thing.
You want to roll again because you want to get style.
I want to roll again because I want to do a trick.
Okay. All right.
So this is not progressing the track.
This is purely getting that style, baby.
Then this is actually, I was going to, something just popped into my mind that I was going to sort of offer toward you. It does seem like there are like several of these blarts coming from down inside the hall here. If you want to forge ahead into the hall, I will mark a spot on the mall jail track. Otherwise, you can back out and return through the rest of the mall out the food court.
Ooh.
I think you'd be able to make some sort of a move trick-wise either way. It's just whether or not you want to keep driving into the belly of the beast or head back.
Miserée's already got this weapon swinging, and I think she has it in her head that the only way she's going to find Bubby is to continue to forge ahead and push through. She doesn't feel like going back out into the open food court is going to yield her much results. And so, perhaps foolishly, she is going to charge forward and attack recklessly.
Heck yeah, I will mark another spot on the mall jail danger track. We are now mall maxed out. Jail is left. Give me that. You said you wanted to make a trick of this?
I do want to make a trick of this.
In what makes it the trick? Is it in its being seen, or is it just something in the way you're doing it? Are you recording it? Are you?
Yeah, I think it's just that she is very, if this goes well, capable and like quick, and the fact that there's so many enemies and she's just like slowly moving forward, swinging this weapon around, taking them down left and right, and maybe if she's breaking them down and stuff into like pieces and parts or whatever. She doesn't necessarily think to record on her phone all the time, but maybe they have recording. Maybe she can like find a way to like take from their inner workings.
Get body cam footage of you murdering them.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
kicks ass.
I can't recall if we've discussed this. Does Miserée have a phone? Or is there just a weird aspect of Miserée that interacts with cellular networks?
I feel like she has a phone. I think we've riffed on her having a rotary phone with everyone's numbers on a label label made on. So I guess that means she doesn't record things, which is fine. Maybe she will after this. Maybe she'll incorporate the body cam into her rotary phone. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mark a d6 for my attitude. I'm going to mark a kick from my attitude, because if I'm getting this body cam footage, maybe I can learn more about the Blarts, and maybe there's extraneous footage on there. Maybe I can learn more about the wall and mark the lore track as I'm going.
Gotcha.
And I think I am going to mark a d6 from my voidware as well. So this is going to be 3d6, 1 kick, check it. That is a 6.
Ow! You effortlessly destroy these mall bots. You're using both ends of this not even real weapon, just flawlessly. The spiked ball crashes into the head of one and it just goes spinning off of its neck portion. You then wield the other end as a close ranged hammer and just punch it directly through. As it comes back, the body cam is tangled up in the chain.
Nice. If I may, I'd love to add that as she starts wielding this, she's almost like passing it through parts of herself.
Yes.
And the green light that had been slammed into her starts shooting out through this weapon.
I love that. That's so interesting because like the meteor hammer traditionally uses a lot of like reverse momentum, having it wind around your arm or leg to then spin back with extra. So the notion that it can also not just wrap around but also pass through to gain momentum is so interesting.
Yeah.
Keep the slam of energized but change the brackets to say good.
And yeah, instead of marking a style, I'm going to mark one of 2 mod boxes on Omni-Siphon. Roll to vent a cocktail of energy from the multiverse.
Ooh. Okay.
So with an in the lab beat, I'll have a new mod.
Heck yeah. So you didn't mark the style there.
No.
But you were hoping to mark the lore
With
track
a kick, yes.
And the
glow track because you are advancing as well.
The first check was to advance the progress track. I mean, my main focus with the second check was to do the trick.
Actually, you specifically said you weren't marking the progress track on this.
Oh,
you were
okay.
like, I'm just trying to get style.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I think that works great. And the echoed screams in monotone of mall cop bots just echo out across the food court.
Incredible.
Cease and desist. Let's jump on over to Esther at the water park. Following up on the trend of what we saw with the water features in the food court, everything within the water park portion of the mall here is also just sand.
The slides have currents of sand running down them. There's like a big toilet bowl sort of sand sinkhole that just swirls. Weirdly enough, the sand in the main portion of the pool seems to ripple, almost as though there are waves happening to it. But outside along the perimeter, there is a long channel of sand that slowly shifts and slides along it. You can actually see several large floaties also still dotted in them. They don't really float on top. They kind of are wedged into the sand at odd angles, but they continue to move around, looking like a bunch of half-dunked donuts as they travel.
The sand is sort of floating the way flowing the way water would. I love that. Is it safe to say though that aesthetically it is kind of beach vibes, like what they were like in the before times before this was ruined?
Yes, yeah. Behind the walls are somewhat worn, but they definitely had old murals that looked like very cerulean aqua seascapes with.
Great.
Each wall is oddly a different mural. One is like, this is a beach, but then suddenly the next one, the beach doesn't continue. It's just now we are underwater.
Sure.
A bunch of different water-themed scenes, but it's like, is this an ocean? Is it a lake? What's happening?
And so I think Esther sees this, and she's walking around, and when we cut to her, she's standing on the shore of this sand water and then non-sandy beach shore, and she's kind of looking around this whole big giant space, looking at the Adirondack chairs, looking at the slides, looking at the river on the side, and she is kind of blushing, laughing to herself, and just sort of filming in a circle, giggling, but also kind of like grimacing. And oh my god, this is so cringe. This is what people here think Popularia looks like. This is, oh my god, it is a culture, not a costume. I can't believe, she's like kind of telling the recording and stuff for posterity. She's going to show people later. Like, oh my god, look at like that flamingo is wearing cat's eye sunglasses. That's absurd. They wear aviators. I can't believe that this is what they think. It's unbelievable. But okay, I gotta find Flobert. Flobert, are you here? Are you under these light up palm trees? Oh, this is so embarrassing. I gotta get a better look. And she's gonna climb up to the top of the like lazy river perimeter. She was considering climbing up the water park slides, like the slides, to get a good view. But I think she maybe gets 2 rungs up and they break out from under her hand, and she's like, "Oh, this is too dangerous."
Yeah, I think as you climb up the structure to what seems to sort of be the onboarding point to this lazy river, they also have a platform there that has, what's the word for it? Is it just a rope swing? What's the word for
like a... Yeah.
Not a zip line, but just like one of the big, just the big rope.
Sure.
And it looks, there is one of those hooked up to the platform. This seems to be the launching point that would get you out over the pool, but looking out, you actually, very similarly to before, there's one of those large glass domed ceilings. Sure. And there actually does appear to be an open panel that wind is blowing through.
Oh, far out. Yeah, she considers doing the Tarzan swing out into the pool that is full of waving sand. But she kind of thinks about like, she kind of does the Scrooge McDuck math of, can I jump down into a pool of sand and will it absorb me like water, or will I hit it like hitting a wall of rock? I think she's going to opt to go down surf down the lazy river on the sand on her hoverboard, do the full perimeter. Because I'm sort of imagining it kind of like a snowboard half pipe that does the perimeter. And so she's just going to do a trick and try to kind of record a perimeter tour of the entire space that is equal parts looking for Bubby and trying to fill the lore track. Gotcha. By essentially like half pipe surfing the lazy river up and down as she goes around trying to find it.
Nice. Yeah.
And so to do that, she's going to use the powered crunk filter Mark +1 style when you successfully use a trick to take a dope picture or video. She's doing a series of tricks. She's doing a half pipe run. Check it. Starts recording, hard light, selfie stick out, and is just going to try to do different like flips and grabs, but also catch as much of this space as she can, either to review after for signs of Bubby, or flesh out the lore. I'm going to add a D6 from my attitude. a D6 from showing off, and the D6 that this comes with for a total of 3D6.
And sorry, were you adding any kick? Did you say, or just?
I guess I do have to add the kick, right? To do both. So and then kick from the phone. Looking for Bubby, kick for the lore.
Nice.
Bubby. A 5 was my highest roll.
Yeah, I think this is going quite well. You're getting such good aerial shots as you come up. I think starting on the far end by the lazy river actually takes you toward the water slides on your first pass.
Sure.
So the first time you go up in this video, you see the structures all around. You have the different slides at other heights. There's one that almost looks like it goes up before coming back down, and that just seems dangerous for any kind of slide. I don't know why they would design one like that. But you are getting a grand look at this, and you're not seeing any signs of Bubby, but it does give quite a detailed layout of this whole area, and it really does feel like a perfect half pipe, like how people do stuff just in swimming pool bowls. It's a big pool bowl.
Yeah, it's. I was looking up like an Olympic snowboarding thing of like it's one long half pipe, but I like your detail of these floaties sticking up out of the sand like dune rocks, and she's periodically avoiding those, and then goes up the half pipe,
them a little,
slaloms them, goes up, and is like, and there's the toilet bowl, comes back down, and there's the cabanas, comes back down. There's the big long slide with the loop, and comes back down, and works her way to the bottom. And you're telling me no sign of Bubby?
No sign of Bubby as you're doing this. I think do mark the style and stuff that you were getting from. Was it the crunk filter?
The crunk filter, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll mark a style, and I get the style for doing a trick.
Yes.
So 2 style total.
I think after you've made most of these passes, you feel like you've seen sort of everything, and it's sort of safe to assume this is your last time up in the air before coming back down. While you're up there, you do notice on like a little foam floaty board, just sort of hand paddling out into the middle of the water is a blart. Or not the water, the sand.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, the waving motion of the sand has stopped, and that's sort of how this Maulbot is actually able to paddle straight through you. Is the sand is still, but as he reaches the center of the pool, sort of concentric rings of ripples through the sand begin forming around him from underneath.
Okay.
And suddenly, giant jaws reach up and grip around the entirety of the bot, pull it back down. It's tough to tell exactly what this is because you haven't seen the whole body, but just based on the head, very shark-like.
I'm really glad that I opted for the lazy river and not to Tarzan swing into the pool, or I think I would have been whatever that is lunch.
But as this bot is snapped up by seemingly a sand shark of some sort, it is busted, and you can hear an alarm start to go off.
Sure.
It seems that they're connected into some sort of a mall network that is, with one having been taken down, it's sort of alerting others to the presence here in the water park. And I think that'll mark up a spot on the mall jail track.
Sure, because I did not. It was not a total success. It was a mixed success. Great. Well, I think this place is a wash. I guess there's no water. This place is a dust. So I'm going to go catch up with the rest of the crew. Later, nerd. As she like sees this bot getting like eaten by a land shark and makes a mental note like,
We're going to need a bigger bot. With this, I think we will jump over to Goby. You've opted to go towards the movie theater that was listed for having, what was the phrasing? Was it big statue or cool statue?
Cool statue.
But to reach this portion of the movie theater in the mall, there is actually several sets of stairs that you have to climb. It seems this is all on like quite a different level than the rest of the shopping concourse. And it's not just one flight, it's 2, then 3, and eventually you're 4 stories up into this higher platform that opens up into the large space that is the lobby of the movie theater.
Ooh.
And you know what? There are some pretty cool statues up there. There is one sort of large centerpiece statue that draws the eye, but there are also several other ones that do seem to be tied to
various
say
movie
different-
franchises,
yeah,
or yeah?
fill my peas.
Is there by chance like a giant sort of Muppety-looking creature that I would immediately recognize as Zugbo from the Solar Conflicts movies?
Of course.
Lovable Zugbo from the second
course.
Solar Conflicts movie.
Yes. Recently, in the prequels for the Solar Conflicts, he's computer generated. He doesn't have
Not
the
as
charm
good,
anymore.
right? Yeah, you gotta have the practical effects.
Yes.
But he's up there. He's all purple with his big nose. Zugbo. We all remember him.
Yes, of course. There's Zugbo. There's also. How many of you prepped?
We got. I'm assuming there might be because superhero media is big in our dimension. I'm assuming maybe here they also have some superheroes. So they've got this giant figure of an imposing looking angry dude, but you can only see the bottom, his mouth, the bottom half of his face, because the top is just one big hat that covers up the entire top. This is Hat Man.
So the hat comes past the eyes, and the rim
He
is
covers
just
up the top to keep his identity secret, so he can fight crime in Gotham City.
and so his eyes are peeking through. What would the band be on
Can't
top?
see at all.
He can't see at all. Okay, it's just pure hat.
Wow,
Just
someone is
hats.
outing himself as not following
Yeah,
Hat Man.
it was a fake geek girl.
Yes, there are several of
Is that correct?
these
Yeah, okay.
different figures all sort of suspended in air. And the air itself, actually, everything else sort of had that musty scent of dust because of all the sand. But this being so high up, the area hasn't filled with sand.
Yeah.
It's clear that the rest of the structure from the outside is probably buried, but the sand hasn't made its way up all these flights of stairs. So everything's still permeated by a very buttery smell. Does Goby
Ooh.
get smells with his suit on?
I can't imagine how he would. So I guess this is completely lost on Goby. But as a player, it's nice for me to know that it smells buttery in here.
Yeah.
It's reassuring.
I want to yes and this offer, but I can't fathom how he would get smells
Do you have
through a
like a-
suit, through water.
Do you have any kind of a HUD? Like a heads-up display?
I had been picturing it as just a porthole.
Okay,
I don't know,
Let's
yeah.
try to help you out.
Try to get you away.
I'm really knowing all these offers, but yeah.
And then up above, sort of at the center of this whole space, there's a giant, imposing sculpture. And something about it seems like it's probably rigged up to move.
Ooh.
This thing is massive. It takes up so much space, and it looks like inside of the giant maw of this thing, you can see that it does have little pipes that are built in there that almost seem like jets for something. Of course, the thing I'm talking about is a big whale.
It's a giant hanging suspended above, so all these statues are hanging from the ceiling
Yes.
at interesting angles, looking down over the space. So if you're in the lobby, you just you look up and you're taking this all in, including this giant massive whale.
Yes.
With a big open animatronic mouth and some sort of piping inside.
Yes.
Okay, maybe it breathes water.
Yes, that is what it is.
A water-breathing whale. Yeah. I got you.
Just from you
Yeah.
wanting to include both the Wem dragon and the whale statue, so I just made them one thing.
And you accidentally turned the movie theater into a natural history museum.
Yeah. But also Zugbo is there.
Natural history museum.
Yeah.
And it's odd with a statue of a whale. It might seem like it would, I don't know, shoot water out of its blowhole, but this thing definitely just barfs water out of its mouth.
Is there a cordoned off splash zone that if you're in this part of the lobby,
It's
be
not
ready to get wet?
officially labeled, but you can tell by the many years of dried stains from the
Yeah.
water. The carpet is a different shade.
Oh god, it's carpet.
Yeah, that's how they keep the butter smell.
I was gonna say the tile has a less sheen underneath it, but no, it's
Carpet. It's very badly stained.
well, now I'm thankful that Goby doesn't get smells, 'cause
Yeah.
that sounds nasty.
But as Goby is sort of walking into this space, the whale actually does sort of begin to perk up a little bit. It's maybe not doing a full sequence, but there are stirrings. You
Yeah.
can tell that it is moving.
You can hear ominous music being
Yeah.
piped in through speakers somewhere. Yeah. It sounds like it's underwater, and I can't tell if that's like because the audio is like old and degraded because this place is broken down, or if that's how it's supposed to sound because it's a whale.
Or if it's because he's in a suit full of water.
Yeah, because I'm hearing it through water. Yeah, there's a lot of factors here.
It's the thing where, like, noise canceling, do they cancel out the water effect when he hears it? Where does Goby go? What does Goby do within this movie theater space?
As Goby's entering into this space, he almost like the whale almost pulls his attention back, like he's almost on autopilot as he's walking in, because his eyes are glued to his phone display, because he's been watching this entire time throughout this entire mission. He's been keeping an eye on the social media feeds for their as yet unnamed crew, because they got such a big spike off of that initial run and the Golden Jungle adventure with the Soliton. But he's watching as the momentum is dying. Like we haven't chosen a name, we haven't branded ourselves, we haven't really done anything all that exciting since then. We're kind of just poking around a decrepit mall and like, yeah, we got that cool video of Esther, but like we haven't done anything big and attention grabbing. And you know, on social media, you gotta stay relevant, you gotta keep your momentum up. So he's been just like obsessing over their stats and their numbers and watching like, oh, we're not getting as many shares and we're not getting as many views, and oh god, we're the algorithm is not putting us forward anymore. And it's the sound of the whale almost jerks him out of this haze of stats and numbers and social media data that he's been obsessing over this entire time. I was like, right, I'm here to find Bubby, right? Flobert, are you in the movie theater? That'd be weird if you were watching a movie while we're all worried about you, and you're just like taking in you're not here, are you? And he kind of listens and just hears his own voice echoing in the space.
Your voice does echo back, and in between the ominous groans of the whale, you do actually hear another sound that does seem to be emanating from inside one of the theaters.
Oh. Maybe you are here? Flobert, what am I hearing?
It's a very consistent rhythmic sound, almost like a clicking.
I think Goby hears this sound and realizes, like, I'm going to have to investigate that. Like, maybe that doesn't sound like Flobert, but maybe that's something that can point us in the right direction or a clue as to where he might have gone. I'm going to need to do this, but... And he kind of glances up at this giant, ominous whale above him that looks imposing and vaguely threatening and is just starting to stir, and then glances back at the phone screen and is like, well, I mean, obviously the priority is Flobert is finding our friend, and as he's doing it, he's starting to glow lightly burgundy through his suit here. Obviously, we're all here to find Bubby, and that's the most important thing, but I mean, we also need to keep everyone's attention if I'm going to be successful as a Slugblaster, and everyone else is taking things so seriously and being so stealthy. I'm sure it's just going to be a bunch of boring poking around a dead-end mall. No one else is going to get on any of the security guards' radars, not knowing that all three of you have been chased by blarts at this point. I guess it might be on me to make this a little more exciting. He squares up with this whale and is like, all right, hey, you, and he starts rolling, starts filming on his phone as well, on the camera built into his armor, and like, hey, you big dumb fish, you want a piece of this? You looks like you can breathe water. Well, I can shoot water too. And he preps his weapon system, and he's gonna try and get this whale's attention and try and trigger it to do something cool.
That vaguely underwater sounding music from before almost seems to call out in response. It's now fully out loud. It's not muffled anymore. It is playing, and the whale rears back up. Mm-hmm. There are several sound effects as almost like a whale breaching out of water, even though it's clearly not doing that motion. But all of that's there. The ambiance is around. And the lights begin to dim in the rest of the lobby, and some light up, big spotlights shine down on the whale. They've got gobos on them that give sort of a watery effect as they rotate.
Ooh.
And you're gonna fight this whale. I'll take a roll for that just to see how this goes.
I'm somewhat reacting to it.
You're sort of making a show of it as well.
Trying to film this and get like not necessarily trying to like destroy it or beat it, but just like trying to get some sort of cool interaction on film that will maybe juice our algorithm a little bit. So to do this, I'm using my weapons system, my water cannons, because it feels like gotta fight water with water, right? That makes sense.
Like the old saying.
Yeah. I will mark a d6 from my powered armor. I'll also, if I'm being on it, like this maneuver, Goby's intent is to follow through and go investigate this sound and figure out if Flobert has been here or where he might be. This maneuver, squaring off with the whale, I don't think is advancing that track. I don't think he has any illusions that this is going to help him find Bubby. This is for the clout. This is for the vine. This is for the gram. So I think I want to mark the lore track with this. I don't think I'm and I was about to add kick, but I'm like, no, I don't think I can justify marking both. I think this is all for the lore track. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna mark another d6 on my attitude. And we're going to roll with 3d6 and no kick. I am doing a trick, though. I want to get style if this goes well.
All right.
Check it.
Oh, hey there, listeners. It's me, Laena. I didn't expect to see you in this gigantic extra mall. You haven't found Flobert yet, have you? Neither have I. Hopefully our crew can. Finding Flobert might be tricky, but one thing that we can do in these trying times is leave a 5-star review for Quantum Kickflip, recommend our podcast to a friend. You can also support us by subscribing to us on Patreon, where we have all sorts of wonderful rewards, such as bonus content, early access, and more. If you subscribe to our Patreon today, you can listen to the glitches from my run. Here's a little taste of that. I can't
While we're still pulling, every time, Robyn, you say Goby Lubgorch, it feels like you're going to lead into saying, the guy who loves to gorge. I don't know why my brain does that, but it feels like...
To listen to these glitches and so much more, head to patreon.com/quantumkickflip and subscribe today. And now I'd like to hand things off to Grayleen Palette with a special message.
Yes, some very special shout-outs to make here. Wonderful masterpieces, one and all. We'd like to thank Bronze, Dionysus, Nash, Vesman, Farmer, Diamantina, Aratlon, Mana, Lamp Critic, and Craig from Canberra, Australia. You're all geniuses, muses, wonderful inspirations. We thank you.
If you simply cannot get enough Slugblaster in your life, let me tell you about My First Dungeon. Produced by Many-Sided Media, My First Dungeon is the tabletop role-playing podcast that helps game masters learn new games and make each one better than the last. They just wrapped their most recent season, in which they have been playing Slugblaster. The season features beautiful, darling characters, crazy runs, and some pretty dope original music. If you're having fun, you're already doing it right. To listen to all 8 episodes of their Slugblaster season, head to manysidedmedia.com/myfirstdungeon. This season, Quantum Kickflip is proud to be sponsored by MythWorks. In addition to publishing Slugblaster and other fantastic comics and games, MythWorks is committed to a better and more equitable future. To learn more about MythWorks, you can follow them on social media at MythWorksHQ, or you can go to their website, www.myth.works. You can catch the next episode of Quantum Kickflip and the conclusion of this Vastiche run on Wednesday, August 27th, or 2 days early if you're a patron. Will the crew find Flobert? Let's find out. Let's get you back to the action.
We got a 3, a 4, and a 6.
Yeah.
Rolling good today.
Yeah.
So yeah, Goby squares up with this thing. He sees it starting to move, and the maw starting to open, and sees his opening, and shoots a sort of exploratory jet of water from his arm water cannon at this thing to see if it provokes any kind of reaction.
The water cannons, are they sort of like wrist mounted?
Yeah, that's what I've been picturing. Yeah.
Gotcha. And is there one on each wrist? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just using one arm so
Yeah.
far, just sort of Superman flying pose.
Yeah, punching towards it. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I did a whole sequence to juice up my mobility boosters to be able to launch myself upward. Yeah, let's. Why do it from the ground? I'm gonna launch myself into the air with my foot jets, while also punching forward at the thing. You said Superman, and I'm like, why aren't I flying? So yes, on a 6, I'll launch myself. Sure.
You actually, there is further out in the movie theater. There's another film figure,
Yeah.
Pooper Man, who is in the same pose.
Like a Captain Underpants style, like juvenile humor thing. Or...
It's just Superman, but instead of red on his outfit, it's just brown. But as you are launching up toward this whale, it does actually rear back and noise emanates, and the water jets at the base of its mouth do kick up. And the jets of water they shoot out are surprisingly strong. Considering that these spray down just onto an open lobby of people, it's like very forceful water. And the jets, the gouts of it that are coming out are actually just this very deeply purple tinged water. And you connect with them midway, but the shape that you have with your fist, you're actually managing to keep that momentum going through in the center of the stream. As you're sort of like held there, are you trying to push further forward up the stream, or do you try and bust out? Are you trying to drive the water back?
I think drive it back. Yeah, I like the idea of like using my own water cannon to sort of redirect this spray back at the whale and maybe fuck it up a little bit.
And what's the vantage point you were recording from? Did you like set your phone up somewhere, or was it?
I think it's POV. I think it's built into the armor, so I think this is all first-person shooter style.
And I think first person, you were on the ground, you see the whale up above you, and its mouth opens. Suddenly the camera launches forward as you jump up in the air, and you see the one arm forward. The purple water comes gushing forward, and the fist breaks through the center of the geyser, causing it to split and spray. Your own water then shoots out, and in the viewpoint, it's all been this deep purple. But then your own water, which is the classic sort of Desninian blue, sprays forward and starts breaking up, and suddenly the jets around slowly go from being that purple to being taken over by this blue as the force of your own water pushes back, and eventually it breaks through the spray, and you're suddenly the last few seconds of shot of the whale getting closer and closer until you're up inside its mouth.
And as I land inside of this thing, I'm like, oh, I didn't really have a plan for this part. I was just trying to... He wants to end the stream, but wants to say something cool before signing off. So he's like, you think you can spray me with water? I was born underwater. And also, I'm underwater now. And my suit is full of water. Also, I'm always underwater. And he just ends it. I wish I'd ended that like 2 seconds earlier. It would have been cooler.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always underwater.
But he looks at what is the inside of this whale? Like, is it all just like plaster and framework inside, or?
Oddly enough, it has been
Alive this whole time?
We murdered a whale.
Despite it looking sort of like painted very whale-like on the outside, the interior is like this bronze. It's all metalwork. And inside, it does look, in how it was moving, it's several distinct sections of metal that are all sort of tilting and shifting in among each other. There are some gears and stuff that are worked in as sort of discreetly as possible, but the interior of this actually extends further back into the whale. And it does look like up inside here, you're not really intended to be inside this whale, but there's plenty of graffiti and stuff up here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, of mall rats past who have managed to make their way up inside the belly of the whale. And you know what? As you gaze up, looking around, there's all these all these different tags and things.
Yeah.
But you glance up and you can see a little bit of light shining in from the blowhole.
Yeah.
Which is actually open. A place that would have made sense for water jets to be. And it looks like there's a nice prime spot right by that.
Where I could leave my mark.
Good.
Yeah.
Does one of the graffitis say Jonah was here?
Absolutely.
Pinocchio rules with a Z. Goby kind of looks around for discarded, Sharpie or spray can or something because he wasn't prepared for this. He didn't bring. He's like making a mental note of like, gotta remember to bring graffiti supplies for future Slugblaster runs. And I'm assuming he's able to find something that writing implement of some kind.
Yeah, I think, you know what? It's one of those like fat Sharpies.
Yeah.
One of those real thick, fat alcohol markers. Yeah.
And he uncaps it and reaches up to make a mark and he's going to take a picture of it for their social media. And he goes to reach up and then realizes that like the crew doesn't have a name still. There's nothing to write here. And he doesn't want to just write his own name because the whole thing about slugblasting is it's all about the crew. Your crew has to get famous. And yeah, he's got the marker uncapped and he hesitates for a second and then he sort of thinks and he nods and he reaches up and he begins to write.
Whatever you've scrawled up by the blowhole is in there, and I'm sure we'll learn of that later. What's it like descending from this whale's mouth? You just sort of like water jet back down?
Yeah.
Iron Man hover a little?
I think, it's clunkier. Like, it looked cooler going up, and then on the way down, it's, like, kind of shaky, and he's like, almost falls forward a couple of times and has to redirect awkwardly, but he's not filming any of this, thankfully.
It's like the thing where, maybe this is just me, you drive on the highway for a long time, so you're going real fast, and then you're back in the city, and it's like, oh, I'm speeding unintentionally because I was used to going fast.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But he touches down, kind of stumbles a little, and then heads forward to go check on what this ominous ticking sound is.
Yeah, you head off down one of the halls, and there are some other figures, other animatronics and things in some of these halls. They look to be in very similar suits to yours, almost in like old-fashioned diving bell kind of things. But they're just swimmers, and they kind of animate very lightly, shift side to side. Their arms and legs barely kick a little bit. They're just kind of hanging from the ceiling over here. But as you are getting further down this hall and around the corner past a second concession, you do hear the sound getting louder in one particular theater. So, Goby, you enter into this theater, and it's not as dark as you were expecting because there is light being projected on the screen. Somehow, within all this one theater, everything else has been dead silent in the rest of the movie space. But this particular theater is still running, and it looks like it's just running one film, and it has kind of been running it on loop. Because as you're coming in, you're sort of seeing the last scene of something. It's this very rugged, handsome guy and a woman, and they're on some sort of a bridge, and there's like a potted plant, and there's some sort of exchange. They're talking. I guess with the Babgles, you can't understand what they're saying and stuff, but it belies a lot of context of what appears to have been like a romantic comedy.
Okay.
That's been playing, and as they seem to get together, they embrace. And then they climb on the back of the guy's motorcycle on this bridge, and they ride off, and the credits start to roll up. And you just sort of sit there for a while watching it, contemplating that how long has this movie been playing for? And just like, is it always going here? And you sort of think about these things. Do you like sit in one of the seats?
I take a load off. In
the ambiance of the theater. And
I think Goby can't help but overthink most things, and is like, well, I mean, there would have to be a projectionist to change over the reels, or maybe it's digital, but then it wouldn't loop; it would just end. So, like, someone's got to be triggering it to play again. But like, why? Unless they had it rigged to play on a loop, but why would they rig it to play on a loop? Because the show times would be staggered to allow people to enter and exit the theater. So you wouldn't want to just start over. And he's like running through all of this in his head for like, why would it be like this?
And the credits are all scrolling by, and wouldn't you know it, after the credits end, the screen goes dark for a moment. There's a bit of a ka-chunk, chunk, chunk, and then the sound begins spinning up again, the light comes back on, and the movie just begins again from the top. And you see the title card come up, and it's like, How to Choose a Guy in 10 Days. And you see those same characters from the beginning of their journey just starting the whole thing again. And it sort of becomes clear that this one romantic comedy has just always been playing in this theater on and on and on.
Why would it be? Because then, if it's a new, is it a new movie? Because then, but how long has it been playing for? Is it a classic? Is there just a demand? Is it like the Princess Bride of this dimension where everyone just always wants to watch it? What is happening? He can't. This just raises further questions for him.
How? Yeah. Do you stay for much of the movie, or is Goby a rom-com guy?
I think not in this moment. I think it's the thing where he when you are channel surfing, I'm dating myself. Remember when there was channels to surf? And you land on a movie and get kind of sucked into it for a little while. And then you realize wait a minute, why am I watching 10 minutes in the middle of Red Dawn? What is happening right now? And you turn it off. So I think he has that where he starts to get sucked in a little bit and then is like, wait, what am I doing? I'm looking for Flobert. And gets up and goes to make his way out.
And yeah, I think after a certain amount of time of seeing this movie play out, the opening portion anyway, you probably get up and leave. It wouldn't be worth watching without any slopcorn anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you then just make your way back to the rest of the mall?
Yeah, I think but he's checked off his area of the map. No signs of Flobert here, so he's gonna head back sort of vaguely in the direction of the hotel where we last all met, but also out in the open enough that, if other people are around, we'll find each other easily. I don't know if we had a meeting point set for I
assume we were going to meet back between the ship and the hotel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he heads that way.
That's why I'm standing here.
Hi, Esther, hi.
Hi. What'd you find?
Big whale.
So not Flobert?
No. But I got some good footage, I think.
Hell yeah. I didn't find anything either, but I did find there's a hole in the roof and light and wind were coming through. So if all goes well, that might be our way out. Though I do have to say that it is suspended above a giant sand pit with some sort of toothy monster inside.
That sounds like amazing footage.
I hope
we should do that.
Yeah, kind of, but we should find Flobert first. I hope he didn't get eaten by the toothy monster thing.
Crash, 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 boom! And then the wall just bursts apart, and Miserée, absolutely covered in dust and blart pieces, lumbers out into the hallway. Oh, hey guys!
Your weapon is just covered in bot oil, and it's just dragging a black trail behind you.
Goby goes to check the stats for our social media again and is like, whoa, we're getting a ton of views. That whale thing must have really popped off, and then realizes it's all your robot murder spree is getting all the attention. It's great job, Miserée.
I've had a terrible time. I haven't found Flobert at all.
Oh, right, yeah, same here.
I also came up short. Where's Plinko?
Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, your cell phones go out. I guess your rotary phone goes. Bling, bling, bling. You got a voice to text thing when you pick up.
The rotary phone has a fax machine at the bottom.
I was gonna say, because we established that you have to use the rotary dial to text people with, and it's T9 via rotary.
It's even worse.
Does it also, when you read texts, the rotary dial just spins of its own accord, and you have to watch which number?
Sort of halfway between.
There's a typewriter, and it just types stuff out, but it can also send photos by doing ASCII art.
Oh, I thought it was if the rotary phone is doing it, it's sort of halfway between
Morse code
and a Ouija board.
That's pretty Miserée. That makes sense.
O-L-L.
And the message comes, hey guys, it seems like there is some maybe leftover Flobert near where the amusement park is. Or droppings, leavings, I don't know. Either way, you should just come over to me at the amusement park.
What kind of texter is Jacob? Was that one long block, or was that 7 short text messages all in rapid fire sequence?
Oh yeah. There's a pod,
yeah.
Maybe this text, maybe this text. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Jacob has relayed this information that he has picked up on a slime trail. I think since the three of you are on another portion of the mall, sort of separate from him, and we have one spot left on that progress track, I'm going to ask for a group roll. In your own misadventures, the majority of you also sort of piqued the ire of these blarts. So the general presence, you can sort of see, even as you're convened on the one end here, the other layers, you can see more and more of these bots coming out of side doors and filling the concourse. It almost mirrors what it would have looked like on a busy weekend at the mall.
Sure.
But they're all security bots. So yeah, if we could get a group roll to see how successful you are at reconvening and following up on this trail.
What do we got for hype?
I think full slate. I don't think we've used any hype.
Dump a bunch of hype.
Dump it all on this
crew
roll.
Hype on this roll, and let's get the heck out of here.
That's an extra 2d6 and 1 kick.
And we don't need we've already filled out the lore tracks. We don't really need the kick for that. But I know a lot of us are short on style and we're getting towards the end of a run. Do we want to do a trick to get a style for everybody and then mark that? If we mark that kick, can we all get an additional style? Can we be extra stylish?
You know what? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I also just like the visual of the three of us like hauling ass away from an army of robots as we catch up to Jacob. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we're here.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Goby switches on his camera. Is like, Esther, you rolling?
I'm rolling.
I'm rolling! And she starts spinning the hammer around again.
And yeah, are you sort of all charging forth in formation? Is there like a train situation going on? Are you all each sort of doing your own pathway?
I think,
three-man
like,
weave.
Yeah, weaving in and around each other, doing tricks as we go, mostly trying to evade robots. And yeah, just looking cool as hell as we go to catch up to Jacob. Who wants to roll this?
I can take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we already have 2d6 on it. I'll toss in the d6 for my attitude as well, which gets us to 4d6 total. Is there anything else we want to add to this roll?
Nah.
Be plenty.
Let's do it. 4d6, 1 kick. Check it. Hold up.
On the table is 3 failures, but 1 die rolled off the table, so this is our only hope.
Not only 3 failures,
3 ones.
Yeah.
Hoi.
And here is die number 4. A 3!
Oh no!
Oh, good golly.
Can I make a case for passion?
What is your passion?
You care passionately about skateboarding. If this would help you with an action, you can spend 1 trouble to upgrade a 1-3 result into a 4-5 result.
Do we still get any of the style?
Because it's also a group check, too. Or...
Oh, do we each have to upgrade it? Is that how it works?
I'm going to throw down a few options for you.
Okay.
I like to give people options. If each of you will spend 1 trouble, you can upgrade that to the 4 and you will succeed. You will not receive the 2 style each. You'll just get the 1 style each on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're each willing to spend 2 trouble, it can still be upgraded to the 4, and there will still be the normal mixed success stuff, but you will be able to each get that 2 style that you were bargaining for with that original kick.
Go big or go home. I'll mark 2 trouble to get 2 style.
I'm marking 2 trouble.
I'll mark 2 trouble as well. I have 1 spot left,
Oh, Esther!
but I got 2 style.
It is open. It's an all or nothing. So if you're all okay with taking the 2 trouble, you'll all get the 2 style. But if you all...
Is that me too? Am I in this?
I think we'll describe what we all do, and then we'll land at your front, land
in my
at your
imagination,
feet.
they're also sort of like you've been like battling off.
Yeah, I have.
at the spot.
Oh,
I have
sick.
my
That makes
customer.
sense.
Nice. Okay. So I think Miserée is hopped up on fighting these guys, and she just like charges forward instantly. And where before in the hallway it was very like slowly moving her way forward, taking them out as she goes, this is a lot more energized. She is bouncing back and forth. And I think she's using a combination of this hammer that she has and kind of using her hoverboard as a weapon as well, similar to how she stalled off of the one spaceman in the ship that was in the mall. She's like, stalling off of them and then pushing off with her board and like knocking them back. She's doing a kickflip in a way that the board just fucking smacks him in the face. Fully does a grab, lifts it up over her head, bashes one in, and then puts it under her feet back in time to land. And also, swinging her hammer back and forth through her into them, trying to like knock them into Esther and Goby as well as we're going, just kind of like setting it up so they can knock him down.
Esther is, skating on her hoverboard back and forth down the hall, evading blasts, doing kick flips and things and moving. But I think as she's going, she's using her jailbroken microphone to use the remote hacking dongle to hack isolated air gap devices within 50 feet. And I think she's just periodically like pointing her phone like a remote control at different store signs and just making those neon, like if they're neon or they're the light box style retail signs, just making them explode in sparks as she goes. So like every 10 feet there's an explosion of plexiglass and electricity and sparks that's disrupting the sensors on the bots and looking cool as hell as she's doing kickflips through an exploding Hot Topic sign.
Incredible.
I think to add to the sense of general visual chaos going on with these exploding signs and these flying robots, Goby sees that Miserée's kind of got the bot combat side of this on lock, and so as he's skating forward on his water jets, doing his mobility booster thing. And rather than shooting his water cannons at, the robots or the signs, he's looking for any of those, the glass dome ceiling areas and, taking out one panel at a time strategically to have pink sand stream in, almost like confetti falling down, so that as the signs are exploding, it's lighting up these streams of pink sand, and there's, particulate, adds a lot of production value, particles, yeah.
It's always fancy when there's particle effects.
Yeah, exactly. But just sort of putting a finishing touch on this absolute chaos as they rocket forward.
Nice. And as the three of you are making your way throughout the mall, I think Jacob had given you the instructions that the trail he found was leading down onto the first floor. So at one point you all do have to sort of funnel in onto a dead escalator and slide on down from the upper level down to the main floor. Jake has followed the trail, and he's standing in front of what looks to be like another sort of art installation. It's a large statue kind of in the center of the hallway, and it depicts they look like they're mining workers. One has a pickaxe, others are operating some machinery, and then up above them there are a bunch of dangling pendants in the shape of very geometric prisms, very much like gems, different rare minerals, chunks of ore, stuff like that, all sort of dangling from the ceiling above in a colorful array. But in front of this statue, Jake is surrounded by blarts and is fighting them off, trying to keep the area secure as you guys come forward.
Jake is as you're coming, you're hearing the noises of what sounds like a live or like an active video game, and Jake is currently taking cover around one side of this arcade machine. It's like one of those light gun machines, of course, the famous game known as Deadly Officer, and so he is simultaneously shooting enough guys on the video game to make sure the game keeps going, and then turning in and shooting at the security because he's able to hit that. There's like a little tiny sensor that is like.
They're actual optical sensors are affected by light.
I figured out if you could hit them, it kind of just dissociates them and shuts them down.
But you got to keep doing the game so that you can continue
shooting. So reload, shooting the game, reloading down below, turning, shooting some guys as he can, and he's just like, I'm pinned down, you guys.
Each one of the bots you managed to land at one of the, because it has to be a headshot for it to hit the sensor.
It has to be a very specific.
Each time you hit one of those, they have little ear antenna that pop out the sides, and the bobby hat goes up, and then they fall over.
Very good.
As you all sort of converge in around this was a mixed success. So you have made it here. You've got the video. It's hella cool. Everyone's going to know about this run that actually gets quite a good landscape of the mall as you've run pretty well from one end of it to the other through all these phases. But as you are all in there, mallbots keep swarming in, sort of bulking in around. And it looks like they might try to flow over you, to swarm over you. But they all stop in a tight ring and take one step back, leaving enough space for a shorter, wider bot to walk forward. And it's the same sort of design as these other ones, looking like the Rob robot from Star Fox 64. But if you took the 3D model and just like stretched it downward, and it just got a little squirter. And it does have, despite being a robot, it has what looks to be like a metal plate under its would-be nose, like a mustache. And this chief of security mallbot steps forward, and it is also wearing a stylized Bubby hat, which releases steam, goes. The hat rises up and it tilts back, and you see on top of his head is just a bright red button that he doesn't have to press it, but it depresses down, and the mall blares out a large alarm that echoes through the entirety of the structure. The lighting all kicks to emergency red, and all of the glass domes that you've seen throughout the mall begin to have metal security shutters start to slide down them. You can see any doors within reach of you are all starting to slide down as well. The mall is going into lockdown. And at this point, the Blarts, almost by their own protocol, are no longer focusing on you, but splitting off to go and reinforce these exits. With the failure side of this mixed success, I am advancing mall jail by 2 pips. It is not fully filled out, but you are in the deadly end game of mall jail.
We got one mark left.
Oddly enough, despite this, all of the destruction you've wrought, who can say who programmed these mall bots? They are giving you the space as you've reconvened here at this statue.
Uh-oh, gang. I think we're in over our heads.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of followed the Flobert's trail to here. I still haven't found him.
Flobert, are you here?
Drip. 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 The trail did seem like it came up to the statues and sort of ended in among the mining figures. But glancing up, you see yellow fluorescent slime dripping from one of the pieces of ore hanging above. And as it sort of rotates around, you do see sort of a small globular shape stuck to the side of it.
Flobert, is that you?
Bubby, is that... I think Goby's a little overwhelmed here. Like, he's been addicted to the adrenaline of the whole thing and trying to get the likes and trying to get the algorithm going. But, like, this is now feeling like we are over our heads. We might not make it out of here. And seeing this Flobert in this state is like, oh, this just got very real. And he's a little overwhelmed.
The figure up on the dangling prism, it sort of spins around, and despite this yellow liquid dripping from it, as you look up, as it continues to turn, you see more and more of the figure. What's up there isn't actually a yellow blob, like you would have expected. And there's no purple hat. And this thing just sort of peels away a little bit, and then falls to the ground. And before you, it's hard to make out for a second, but it's just an orange metaterrestrial slug. And its eye stalks sort of lift up, and it becomes clear that the trail you were following was never Flobert at all.
Oh, fuck.
And it's at this point that I think I'm going to need to ask for a disaster roll. I'd like to just I like to know the numbers for each of y'all, because you'll be rolling one die for every empty trouble box. Can we go around the horn and see what everyone's working with here?
Yeah, we'll start with me, go counterclockwise. I have 4 empty trouble boxes, so I'm rolling with 4d6.
I have 5.
I'm rolling 66.
Well, that's nice for all of y'all. I have 1 trouble box empty.
Woo.
Ooh.
All right.
Let's see what happens. Did anyone get a 6?
I did.
Ooh, all right.
Mark a style?
Yes,
Yeah.
Mark Style unscathed. 84s or 5s?
Got a 5 right here.
Got a 5.
Oh gosh. I guess that leaves in the 1 to 3 category.
2.
Oh boy, oh boy.